Well, thank you for joining with us for another noon devotional. And today I have somebody very special to me. I have our grandson Joel. And Joel, we're thrilled to have you with us and do things with you. And you know, one of the things you like that really fascinates me, you like running. Is that not right?
You are correct.
Well, tell the people, like, do you run every day? How do you do that?
I don't run every day. I run a couple days and then take off one day. It depends like what I'm training for or something.
So if you're training like to run in one of these races y'all run in?
Then I wouldn't run as much, but I would run longer.
You run harder.
And longer.
Okay. Now, let me ask you this. Like, what's the longest race you've run?
13.1, so a half marathon.
A half marathon. How old are you?
I am 8.
You're 8 years old, and you ran. How many times have you run a half marathon?
5.
5 times. Now let me ask you this: I've never run a marathon or a half marathon, but like, you're 8 years of age. Like, are you ever nervous or afraid before one of those starts?
So, for instance, on my first half marathon.
Well, tell the people about that. Tell the people how that was.
I had never ran a half marathon before, and I was super nervous before I started, and I was super nervous on the way. So my first half marathon was in Huntsville, so I was super nervous. It was like an hour and a half drive, and I was so nervous. And then when I got there, I said a prayer, and I got a little bit unnervous, but then it came back, and then it just went up. And then I said another prayer, and it went away a little more. And then when I started, it kind of went away.
So what you telling me is you were nervous and you said a prayer, and you got a little less nervous when you said the prayer?
Yeah, like I was nervous right before my last half one. It was in Lake Powell in Arizona.
In Arizona?
Page, Arizona. I was super nervous because I was running in sand.
Yeah, you were super nervous because you running in sand. I would have been super nervous too. But you said a prayer and you got a little less nervous. But then when you started running the marathon?
Yeah, like when you start running, you get a little less nervous as your miles go. But when you get like when you get to mile 7, so I was trying to get under 2 hours on my last half marathon, and when I got to mile 7, I was a long way in, and I did not get sub 2 because it was super hard, and it kind of discouraged me because I was on mile 7 and I was my time was not very good.
Well, but you just hung in there. Did you finish?
I did finish.
Did you get a ribbon of some kind?
I got a medal.
You got a medal, pardon me. Were you the youngest runner in the marathon?
I am. I got first place in my age group, and in the Houston half marathon, I got second place in my age group, and that wasn't a hard race, but the easier the races get, the more kids there are that run it. So my age group was 1 and 11, and the more there is people, the higher I get going.
Okay, so I think the lesson that we're learning here in this is that sometimes we all get nervous, whether it's running or whatever it may be. We all sometimes get nervous about things. This COVID has made most of us nervous, I think, more than we want to sometimes even realize ourselves. But here's the deal. If we'll pray and ask God to help, and then listen, He said a great thing, then you just start. You just say, I'm going forward with this thing, whatever it is I'm facing, whatever I've got to do. And you say up about mile 7 is when things got a little better. Is that right?
Yeah, it got better. But then at mile 8 it got better. But at mile 7, it just discouraged me because I was like an hour and 30 minutes in or something. And it like hour 45, I don't know. And it discouraged me because usually I would only have 13 minutes left.
So you're saying to me that you meant to get to mile 7 sooner, quicker than you got.
Yeah, quicker, but I didn't know. So we walked the trail the day before, but we didn't walk the white trail.
Okay.
And then we started in the same first mile and the last mile, and then it got into trail. So that was my first trail running thing.
Okay, well, life is kind of like that. Sometimes we kind of get off the trail, and we don't get quite where we needed to be right when we needed to be there. But here's the bottom line. If we'll just stay in there and finish the race, don't give up. Just keep trusting God, knowing He's running right along with you, and He'll help you. I'll tell you what, it works every time. Well, Joel, I want to thank you, my good man. I mean, this running deal is just is something else. But, the Bible talks about life being a run. In fact, in the Bible says, let us run with patience the race that is set before us. And that race is the life, the Christian life. So as you live your life, let us just stay in the race, keep faithful, keep trusting God, knowing He's with you, and you will get through whatever it is you face. Joel, thank you for sharing with me today, and thank you for listening, and have a great rest of this day.